What is up, guys? JayFerGaming here and welcome to some more F1XL Season 9 race highlights. This is race 8, the American Grand Prix at Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas, and I was looking forward to this one. I've just had a poor season so far, need to improve things, been taken out a few times, had that incident where I crashed into the back of Spooky in the last race, but I was feeling more confident overall for this one. Here are the driver standings after the last race in Malaysia. I'm currently in P7, not great results this season, I've got to say, but I'm aiming for P6 because I think Vidal's left the league, so if I can finish 6th, that would be fantastic. Try and beat the likes of Jack Spa, Crawford, Spooky to that 6th position, so we were needing a decent result here, and yeah, my first run was on the soft compound tyres, messed it up straight away, went wide into turn 1, so this lap wasn't the greatest, but in terms of strategy, I had two ideas in mind. I wasn't sure if I was going to go for a 1-stop or a 2-stop, or which tyres I'd start on. So I finished off this lap. It wasn't great. I was getting to grips with the car and it felt a bit twitchy overall, but we'll come to the line here. We're not really anywhere near Hansen's time of a 1:37.1, but I actually got pole position here in Formula 2 last season with a time of 1:37.5 on the Super Soft, so I felt like I could have got P3 there, but I decided just to stick with that time, start at the back, start on the soft compound tyres, and it would leave the strategy open if I wanted to change things up in the race, if a safety car or something came out. But yeah, with a small field like this, wasn't too bothered about track position, and I know turn 1 is very tricky here. So in terms of strategy, my initial strategy call was to start on the softs and then have 2 stints on the super softs, or we could trade the 2 stints of super softs for a set of medium tyres, but I know the mediums are very slow around here. So we're building up to the American Grand Prix. 5 lights and away we go. Can we get a good start here? Yes, it's pretty decent. Jigglypuff on the left, newbie to this league, has got a terrible start there. We move to the inside to go up the inside of Spooky, and yeah, just trying to avoid any contact. A bit of contact ahead between Mav and Liam. They lose momentum, but we're just slotting in here. Jigglypuff comes from absolutely nowhere, and I thought I was going to make contact with Liam there, so I had to back out. But we're up to 8th. As long as we stick with these guys, that's the main thing on this stint, because yeah, obviously we're going to be slower, but these tyres should take us to around lap 12. And if we keep, my aim was to just keep getting DRS off these guys, because I'd imagine they'd be battling quite hard. And if we stick with them, it should come to us later on in the race. But yeah, things are getting a little bit too close to my liking, and we get a bit unfortunate here. There's a bit of a train reaction ahead as Mav and Liam make slight contact. Jigglypuff, I think, makes slight contact with Liam, and then I make slight contact with Jigglypuff. So we lose the position to Spooky, unfortunately, to the back of the pack, but as long as we can stick with these guys, as I said before, that was the main thing. But Spooky was dropping off slightly. We get a warning there for exceeding track limits, and it's so easy to do with this track, so on you, penalties are probably going to be at a premium. But this second lap was an absolute disaster. I hate this corner, I'm so bad at it, and we corner cut again. 2 warnings on 1 lap, and with 26 laps to go, I was thinking it was inevitable that I was going to get a penalty for corner cutting, but we'll see how that pans out. And just on the back of Spooky once again, I think he likes a setup with a lot of which is suited to the corners instead of straight line speed, because whenever we've been battling, he's never had the greatest straight line speed. So we go up the inside here, get the move done, do we? Spooky gets decent traction, so we're going to be side by side, and this is the worst thing possible to be happening, because this is going to cost us so much time. I didn't actually realise he backed out there, but we just lost all our momentum. We're out of sync with the Maggots and Beckett section of this track, and we've lost time to the cars ahead. I needed to be within the 1 second window, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't catch back up, so that battle was a bit pointless and didn't help us at all. So that slight contact with Jigglypuff didn't help us in terms of our strategy. It meant we dropped off that pack a little bit, but now, after the super soft runners have pit, my teammate F1XL nuthead, I just let him pass. There's no point battling. He's actually fighting for the victory and probably fighting for the title overall, so I'll be a good number 2 driver and let him pass. I mean, yeah, I don't think I'll be battling him too often this season, because his pace is just so much better than mine. I know he actually wanted that shout out, so yeah, there you go. But he's going to get a shout out for a negative reason later on in the race. But that drops us down to P5. 12 laps on these tyres. That means we're all done here. So my plan was, I was thinking about the mediums to go for 1 stop, but I thought it's going to be slower overall, I think. So I'm going to take these super softs to lap 20 and then another stint all the way to the end. And yeah, just hoping for virtual safety car or something, just a bit of luck to aid us in our quest to gain a few positions. But we come out in last. I don't like saying that, but we're behind Spooky. He's been on the super soft, so he hasn't really executed the undercut. Well, he has, obviously, but he hasn't pulled away that, and he seems to be quite lonely, unfortunately. So the car's ahead. I knew the guys I was aiming to beat was Spooky, Jackspot, and Jigglypuff. So at this point, I was aiming for P6, and I think that's a realistic finishing position for me. P5, P6, but on the back of Spooky. And I thought, I've got to make this stick. I can't lose any time here. Up the inside. This is so tricky to get the overtake done. And especially when I get a bit of oversteer there. Spooky's right then. I go for the overtake round the outside. And, oh, I execute it perfectly. And I had my cousin in the room watching this race. And I said to him, that was a brilliant move. I said it at the time. And usually I say it, don't say anything. Like in the past. Be silent. I'm racing. I'm taking it seriously. But this season and for this race, I was just explaining what was going on in the race. I mean, he was saying to me, why aren't you winning? I remember you used to always win. But yeah, that was a bit of a tough conversation during this race. But we jump up to P6 here, ahead of Jackspot and Jigglypuff. So I think they've made their final pit stop in this race. So they're quite far behind. So I was confident in catching up to them on my second stint on the super soft tyres. But now on to lap 16, and Pred is coming out the pits on his medium, so I think he'll be definitely going to the end of the race. And yeah, with my better traction, his cold tyres, I thought about going for the move here, but I thought, I don't want to hold Pred up. I mean, actually, no, that's not really what I was thinking. I don't want to make contact in this SS section, but I actually stuck onto the back of him, so I was going to get DRS here. And yeah, I said to my cousin again, Pred's gonna hate me for this because I'm not racing him. I'm probably gonna slow him up in the next section. So pretty simple overtake, OP, DRS, and slipstream. We get up to P5, but I knew the Pred would be coming back at any moment. But yeah, at least we got ahead. I mean, yeah, a bit of pride restored with that overtake, I guess. But yeah, we're just counting down the laps to our pit stop. Hopefully, the likes of Jackspot and Jigglypuff don't catch up to us too much. But Pred is fighting back here, and I thought, hey, I'm going to go defensive just for the sake of it. I think Pred's like the person I've had the least battles with this season. I can't I suppose Spain we had one battle, but that's about it. And yeah, we lose the position there. We saw King Liam, championship leader, come out the pits there. And then, oh, this is so frustrating and typical. I'm about to come into the pits at the end of this lap. Teammate in the pits. I shouted out when I saw that, you absolute cock, because I knew I'd have to do another lap, because if I go into the pits, I'm going to get held up by like, what, 5-6 seconds. I might as well do another lap and lose, what, 2 seconds. My tyres weren't feeling great. It was so annoying and frustrating. It means Jigglypuff and Jackspot will get a little bit of an advantage, which I don't want to be gifting them the chance of staying ahead of me. But Liam closed on to the back of me. And again, I just don't fight this. There's no point. And I mean, even if I did fight it, he'd absolutely blast past me with the OP slipstream and DRS. So that puts us down to P6. And this is probably the position we're fighting for. I think on the minimap, Spooky is quite far back. Jackspar's in P8. So we should come out, I'd imagine, pretty close to him. So we're coming into the pits a lap later. It means we can push even harder on these this final set of the super softs. Could do with a decent stop. It is 2.6, not great, but it'll do. So we come out behind Jackspar by about, what, 4 or 5 seconds maybe. And he's on the medium, so we should be able to close that gap down, I think. And I think Jigglypuff in 6th is on the soft compound tyres. And I can't keep a straight... Jigglypuff, why? Why, do you sing to us or something? I'm pathetic. But we're on the back of Jackspar finally with 4 laps to go. He's going defensive. We're later on the brakes with our fresher tyres and softer compound. Going for a switch back. Can we get close? This is very tricky to go side by side. You saw with me and Spooky earlier on. We're going to go for it. We're going to look for it. We just don't have the momentum, so I did back out there. I just thought of the previous races. We've had too much contact. I just wanted a clean race, and it's been 95% clean so far. So I was aiming to get DRS here, go for the move as well, and that worked out absolutely perfectly. Better traction, rich mix, so we'll get DRS, and we should be able to pull away. I mean, we're going to have to break the toe here by moving to the left. It's a tactic I've been employing for the last few races. You've got to do it, really, because I think Jackspot probably would have pulled the overtake back, and he's looking there, but I do turn in. There was no way I was going to let him back past him. So now I'm trying to track down Jigglypuff, who's 5.3 seconds ahead of me with 3 and a bit laps to go, and I knew people would be getting penalties because corner cutting is so easy at this track, but there's actually a yellow flag here. At the time I wasn't looking, I just saw yellow flag, someone's crashed. Not looking at the minimap, I was concentrating so hard in chasing down Jigglypuff and getting the gap to under 3 seconds, but it was actually Hansen. And yeah, he's had a bit of contact. He did flip me at Belgium as well, so we had some good memories together. But Hansen, I've got to say, usually does have a penalty for corner cutting, so I was pretty confident about beating him. I was aiming for P6 here, so coming around the final sector, just saying, I have had no warnings for corner cutting since lap 2 where I had 2, so I've got to say, I'm very impressed with that. Incredible performance there. So I was coming around the final corner. I was surely it's going to be P6 here. Coming to the line. A clean race for once. And it's P4! Oh! A tribute to Takuma Sato there winning the Indy 500. I love that team radio. It's absolutely awesome. But I shouted out as well because I couldn't believe I ended up in P4. So many penalties there. 4 penalties for 12 seconds. That means him and Hansen have done at least 12 corner cuts, which if you're doing that, you deserve to be demoted. I'm so happy with P4 there. My best finish of the season. Equal with China in the first race. Just so happy to have a clean race. My teammate did win the race, so well done for you. And yeah, just don't pit on the same lap as I'm scheduled to pit next time. But P4, solid 12 points there. The standings haven't been updated yet. Again, I say it probably every single highlights video. I've got the highlights up quickly once again. But yeah, solid race for us there. So if you did enjoy that, please do leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time out. Goodbye.